It looked to be a good start there for Big on a Nuke, but it ended up with their blood being splattered all over the map. Despite their best efforts, they weren't able to seal the deal, and they watched G2 get 11 rounds in a row on their CT side, and Big just didn't have the answers. Then when switching over, we saw this madman, Sirison, with the scout, putting in work. He makes it look great, he makes it look incredible, but it's not enough for them to get rounds in order for them to hold strong and take this map. What an absolutely incredible performance from G2. They showed no respect towards Big, and they really put the hurt on him.
They really did put the hurt on them, and you saw it right there. I mean, seriously, he's hitting shots like that, but man, when you've got the wombo combo of Nexa and Hunter just constantly biting at your heels, the game just becomes so much harder, and that's exactly what you saw. And Hunter, what a fitting alias for this man, because there was not a single moment where he wasn't on the hunt, where he wasn't re-aggressing, where he wasn't just constantly looking for duels. And this is just, this is such an overconfident G2, and I'm loving everything that I'm seeing out of these guys.
Yeah, I 100% agree to the sentiment. I think Hunter, he kind of locked down the game with a pistol round, just, you know, going for the duels towards Ramp in that round. And I mean, we discussed it coming into this one, Banks, and it was like, if Big is showing up like they did yesterday against FaZe Clan, sure, we have a game on our hands, but today, it wasn't looking like the Big from yesterday. They were just getting completely outclassed by the entirety of G2, and I did say it coming into this one as well. G2, they took 5-6 days off. Kenny S said that yesterday in an interview. Now they're sitting at a boot camp, and they are looking like fire right now. So, if I'm Big Clan, I'm scared.
Yeah, I really would be as well, right? Because we're going on to G2's map pick. Next, we're going on to Dust 2. And although Big can play Dust 2, if the individuals on this team don't step up, they just simply cannot match what G2 are offering right now. We spoke about the tactical side for Big being an element, but right now, not even their players that we need to see perform is actually able to deliver the damage.
Yeah, exactly. And so this Dust 2, it just becomes that much more challenging coming up for Big. But, you know, once again, I'm looking towards Keto. He stepped up huge and was really the difference maker on that Inferno. We mentioned he was bringing out that secondary AWP, and I expect that to be the case here on Dust 2. He's going to be playing mainly towards that B middle area with that AWP. So certainly Keto's got to be able to step up. His synergy with Xantares, it's got to be on point, because these are the two that are going to be responsible for that entirety of the B middle area. So once again, Big, they've got such a huge challenge set ahead of them for this Dust 2.
And we've also got Next leading by example, right, Pim?
Yeah, and he's especially on Dust 2, James. He's a very good in-game leader. He's super good on the A bomb side, and he's going to be annoying, to say it simple as it is. He's going to be all over the place. Now, G2 have already played Dust 2 3 times in this tournament. They lost 16-14 against North. That was not a great result at all. They won 16-13 against Astralis, who was, let's say it honestly, a little bit handicapped with the roster and everything going on. And they won 16-12 against Navi the other day. So they played it a lot, and they've showed us that they're good on it. But whether or not, you know, that they're good enough to deal with a Big Clan that, what is it, a week ago we saw them absolutely dismantle Mouseboard 16-3 in the map. I still think Big Clan have a chance to fight their way back into this one. But G2, if they keep up the level we saw on Nuke, this should be over. This should be a 2-0, because they're looking hella hot right now.
Yeah, and you said about the situation they're in for G2, right? Being a boot camp, feeling good, just want to march away to the grand finals, but it's certainly looking possible. Can they 2-0 this matchup? Can they move on forward? We'll be finding out after the break. You guys certainly won't want to miss it.
G2 sitting pretty on a one-map advantage in this series, and the result could lead them to a one-map advantage in the grand finals of Blast Spring. DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. A European upper bracket final between G2 and Big Clan. Launders,
we've been jumping back and forth between stuff. Yeah, no, it's all good. We're playing on Dust 2 now, and this match, it's actually, it can go both ways. It can go both ways. Can you see all the way through your tear? Holy crap, it's ventilated? That's crazy. Perforated. That's cool. We'll see if Connor comes back. If not, you got some horrible play-by-play coming up by Launders right here. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Love you all.
back.
DreamHack, my family, my extended family. Yeah, okay. We've got the upper bracket finals. We've got Dust 2 up next. And I think that Pimp's point about Nexa particularly being a good in-game leader here on this map could lend them to the 2-0 result. Why, you ask? Because he just seems to have this uncanny read and really good mid-round moments. Let's find out. I'm sweating.
Should be. You should be. This is going to be, yeah, this will be a good match. I mean, I thought Nuke was going to be better. So, you know, maybe we're all wrong. I can't believe that Big got beat that bad after that performance versus FaZe, but maybe that says more about FaZe than anything else.
Maybe, baby. Tabson? Well, he's got himself just the first. Santares is who manages the follow-up frag here for Big. So we are in the 3 versus 3. We've got Jax pinned into the lower tunnels, and Santares seems worried about a B push. And he could be, because G2, they've got middle and they've got B, and they don't have anything else. It's that smoke over towards the CT cross that's going to give Big a chance to get this bomb down. And once that happens, we could see Santares going all the way back around to long to try and hold this one down. But a follow-up headshot here, Jax. He gets taken down to 19 HP. And we also find Santares spotting players in middle. So he's doing a great job of slowing down this rotate, slowing down the retake. They do have a kid on Nexa, but Amanek has to leave.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure how much of a threat Xantares is here. Yeah, he can come for the long play. That probably makes the most sense. Jack's down low. Tizian flash out. Ooh, nice headshot to complement it as well. And almost all 3 kills. Xantares will help clean up. The catalyzer and the finisher comes through at the end. Percolates for a bit, comes through, pops off. That's sick. Nice round from Big. It got hectic. You never want to lose against a mid push from the CTs. That's the most undignified way to go on the pistol round on Dust 2. And it looked like that was going to be the case. But a good rotate, nice and simple from Big, avoiding B. And G2 thinking they were going to play into their hand, overthink it, but they were incorrect. Searson, you don't want to face him unless you're Kenny S and you have a scout. We'll see. Gotta love that Kenny S. He's not scared at all. I mean, he is obviously venerated. He's one of the best scout players on the entire planet. In his own right. Just Searson, these last couple of days, I can't believe what we're seeing, man. This guy's like on another level with the scout.
And
they should raise the price of the gun just for him.
Just for Searson. Unfair advantage. I'm very excited to see if Kenny S kind of gets dragged down into that scout fight, you know? Kenny, he could buy deagles every once in a while, but if the scout pops out more and more often, in this matchup particularly, I am so for it. Again, I think there's a great storyline to be talking about with the comparison of offers right now and what's left of this playoff bracket. And, well, this could be Searson's biggest test yet. Time will tell. We have the smoke grenades here on the long cross, but the entirety of Big just sitting in pit, hanging around now.
Yeah, we saw the op duels go back and forth. In the second half, it was really only one for Searson. Then Searson couldn't get an op again before losing, but it would have been cool to see that go on a little bit longer. Smokes for the cross. Nice and simple. G2 attracted to him. 4 players on A, 1 pushing upper tunnels. They got to move fast.
Ooh, he's right on the smoke. Nexa, he gets tagged off of it, and then the second frag as well. So 2 quick headshots executing the players for G2 that were actually on the bomb site. And they would have been in much better positions had these 2 CTs, the ones that fall back down ramp, been able to cause a distraction or maybe a little chaos, a kill through smoke or something along those lines. But nothing really served up by G2 until this moment. Kenny S takes Xantares to 33, 2/3 of his health gone, but they still hold on to all 5 of their weapons.
Nice clean anti-eco, good moves from Big, long control to a long A hit. It's kind of where you want to go every round if it wasn't so obvious that T's wanted it. But here's a situation where G2 don't give them a reason not to. There's no pressure down long, no big flank out on the long doors. They just rotate in naturally. The only thing that could have gone wrong there for Big was taking too long once they got to the ramp. So they didn't do that. They committed to it and moved fast enough. The boost couldn't come out. The boost assist.
Boost ties.
Yeah.
Can we agree that it is Fami? I would very much like that. 1 Famas, 2 Fami.
Famacies. A gaggle of Famas.
Something like
Murder
that.
of Famas.
Well, nowadays more than ever. I'm so happy that we get the Galil and Famas being so viable because I think it takes a little off of the SMGs. I'm not quite the Mac 10 man myself.
It's a B rush, right? Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Big one. And there's 3 CTs lying in wait for it. Santera is going to slow this one down ever so slightly, and with Tizian by his side, they do an excellent job of just clearing the site, so he thought. Hunter's still behind Car. Now he has the Galil, so for just that moment, that half a second, Santera's panics, and understandably so. Good attempt, but it is 3-0 for Big.
Ooh, man, if Hunter wins this next duel, right? The second player was just on scout cycle. That could actually been a situation where it comes down to a one-on-one, the double cubby setup on B site. Never doubt it. Never doubt it. A lot of pressure. Well, there's 4 CTs towards A, but it's more of a cast setup than anything else. The long take is in for Big, which is nice for them. They get out here nice and quickly, and Searson's rewarded with this push. That's interesting. I mean, they didn't expect him to be here. I wonder what they thought the attention looked like from the T's on mid, but yeah, huge call out. Searson, easy shot. And it denies all of this map control that G2 wanted. Interesting.
Jax will allow the first one out on the cross, but he gets drawn into the open. And that's going to be the helping hand from Amanek. Tizian trying to cross here with the smokes up, but Nexa, he's just going to throw himself into the bomb site. He's trying to find the heads as they walk around the ramp. tabseN creeping inwards. Off of the flashbang, he takes down Kenny S. 2 quick headshot kills coming through for Big yet again. And unless it's the 1 versus 4, Amanek's dusted. He drops both of the first bodies, and he loses a lot of health for it. But this is still doable because Xantares is nowhere to be found. But unfortunately for Amanek, he doesn't know that. So the longer he tries to crawl around looking for this third frag, the longer Xantares has to get into position, which he now is, holding off this exact angle. And as Amanek walks up ramp, it is done. Big 4-0.
Okay, yeah, they lock it up quickly. I mean, everything went really well there. I was surprised to see G2 go for the cat push, but at the same time, you know, a lot of situations where you can walk all the way up cat and there's not an opper holding from green box waiting for this exact push. So
agreed.
I think, yeah, it was just a big call out on the read. And Big all the while, because they took long control, they made it seem like they weren't holding on to that cat push as well. So it's only 20 kills. After Nuke, Searson now has more op kills with the Scout. SSG 08 for Scrawny at DreamHack Masters than with any gun that isn't the op. That's on what?
Cool.
Any gun that isn't the op.
Very cool. Obviously including sidearms and pistols and Zeus's. Everything.
Wow.
Scout God. I think if you compiled a list of the best Scout players in the last months, Searson definitely has to be at the top of it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Kenny S, Simple, and Searson are top 3. Who else is Chris? I mean, Chris J is one of the best Scout players of all time. Just not really been himself recently.
Ooh, there's the op shot. And, well, Kenny, he's going to tag him up. So Kenny S and Searson exchanging love taps down mid. We'll see if Jax with the Deagle can give us a little something. He gets the first one, and that's enough for Big to try and follow through here. They are just chewing through the pistol players, looking to dodge that Scout. And I'm curious how long Kenny holds on to this, because 11 HP and close proximity to the T's as they sit on the side of CT Cross. The smokes are going to come up, which should completely counter this sniper rifle. He shouldn't be able to do any damage unless he gets lucky on timing. Where there could be a threat, of course, is between Nexa and Hunter. As always, they're going to go ahead and walk very close to the bomb site. tabseN, he jumps over the top rope, and he gets himself all 3. Wasn't even looking at Amanek on cat, and he still body bags him. tabseN may not even realize that he has done it all.
Yo, it's cool seeing Xantares and tabseN taking turns on these kills. 2 and 3 kills for them. All of these entry frags, both at long and up onto the site. Xantares is having a hella map from what we've seen so far. And tabseN, yeah, it's like they change places. I mean, Xantares goes out front at long, but once they get up to the A ramp, it's always been tabseN to crouch up, walk alongside, jump up, kill the 2 players on the site. Big looking clean. Imagine if G2 lost another Dust 2 match. That's a big Keck W in the chat for sure. This would be hilarious. Love to see Nexa's reaction if they ended up losing this map. Searson, whoa, man, there's a player right beside him. They spotted him and fell back. I think he'd have a gun out. Okay, they'll kill him with nades.
All right, there it is. I'm thinking to myself, how is this man still alive? He's just scoped up, walking through what was a battle zone. And battle zone, battleground, war zone. Make of it what you will.
Could be
it was hot and heavy. And there's the walkout from Keto, his second kill of the map. A little bit of smoke screen here on both sides of middle. Keto, he's going to go ahead and get a favorable challenge versus Nexa. Looked like Nexa was trying to extend and keep eyes on it, but now Jax, he's going to have everything to do. He's getting the damage in, but more importantly here, staying alive. They're already fighting versus the man disadvantage, and they don't necessarily have a clear route to the retake yet. With that double sniper pick back up, there was a chance for him to go towards Pit, but Keto, he doesn't stop with the cat control. He doesn't stop with moving through CT spawn. He goes all the way to long, and he will serve as the insurance policy to Big's 6th round. This T side is providing, and I love it. Xantares is 7-1, Big flawless so far.
Yeah, definitely. They have 40% win rate for D2 for G2 on D2, even with it being one of their primary picks, which is just really, really funny. And I know, because they're kind of aware of that, it makes it all the easier to kind of talk about in jest. Do have a big win versus Navi on it right here at Masters Spring, but they did lose to North. And they also beat Astralis for what it's worth, with the roster changes in play. And then in the road to Rio, they actually played it looks like 9 times, kind of trading back and forth. But none of these score lines are steep in their favor. The only scoreline that was steep in their favor was their 8-16 loss versus OG. So
Serial killers. You want to hit this one?
Serial killers. Big started this game with
a one. I was going to try to do it.
Plus 1.5 KD differential. 101 better than G2. You want to try it? Let's go. We'll start at the same time, okay? Big started this game with a plus 153 KD differential. 101 better than G2.
I'm not sure how good that sounded on the other end, but there was a lot of voices in my head. More than usual.
Reverb. I was so focused on how to read that, but I don't remember what it said. Big start of this game, plus 153 KD differential, and then something happened.
Yeah, something happened. You know what happened? Big clan happened. 6-0, and they're just shooting people through smoke. This is going to be a best of 3 series. I'm going to call it now. I don't know, man. Big.
Well, very
they didn't like getting battered and bruised on Dust 2. Let's go for it. I'm here for 1BO3. I want all the rounds. I want all the overtimes. I want all of the showings. Because again, what we got versus FaZe Clan, that looked like a wild form for Big. And I was so excited to see this clash in this matchup. So I don't want it to be a one-sided affair. I don't want to see Big limp into this best of 3. As we talked about, the stakes are high. Map advantage in the grand finals. But Nexa, he's got to be high. He walks through smoke, and he just body bags the first 2 players that walk into his screen. So now Amanek, he's going to have to clutch it, or else Big are again going to walk away with the round. There's 50 seconds, and he flashes through. Amanek sits back on Cat, sees the head of ramp. He's going to take a lot of damage, actually, compared to that of what he outputs versus Tabson. Amanek, he's going to try to get tricky here. Drops the smoke grenade and just sprints to the different angle.
Well, 2 players have already rotated to the site, so does open up long. They're scared of Cat right now, and he's run the entire way. So let's see if he gets the free kill. No, player comes off the ramp. Oh my God, there's a chance. Both line up. He gets the information. No damage basically here for Almanac, even though it looks so promising. Just this kind of grainy X-ray from the distance, and Almanac can't get the kills, but he's lucky to stay alive here because, he could have very easily died. One single bullet would have taken him out.
That's 21 shots fired. 0 landed.
So
I'm pretty sure 0 for 21. That's a failing grade.
For sure. I mean, they all missed their bullets too, and he had 20 health the whole time.
That's a fair point. All right, okay. It's not just Amanek.
We always tell the story from the perspective of the person we're watching, but sometimes...
I guess the victors write history, huh?
Yeah, the real story is from the other perspective. But yeah, it's a push. It's a worthwhile push, of course, because, they don't have much to lose. Tabson's like, guys, I have to switch guns to figure this out. But yeah, it's 7-0 for Big. And Kenny S, opping one more time. They'll give us another try, see how it goes. He got his 1 kill the last round, I believe. But that was about it. Early gamble to CT side long control. T's pressuring towards mid. There's no cheeky boost to come in from the CT side. And I think in the establishing round of this game, that first rifle round, we saw a Big really call out Hunter on that initial cat push. So maybe a G2 are a bit scared that they're being read into in their game plan. And if you get a team to play scared, you can get him to play predictable.
And once your opponent's predictable, the whole match is winnable. So let's see if they can get them into those patterns, whether Big can continue this rhythm. So right now they're making music, singing songs of victory, only halfway through their T side. Still flawless. Jax salts back into the pit. He's going to get an instant headshot, so Tabson goes down. And Kenny S, a very passive angle here on elbow. Yeah, Keto, he didn't see that one coming whatsoever. Jax is taking damage, but he was good for a second frag. And Xantares, well, he knows about Kenny, but he didn't know about Nexa. Finally, this A site holds strong. G2 Esports on the board.
Yeah, that's something. It's a very standard setup with the 3 players there, but of course, Jax does his job on the pit. Saw how good he was with the Deagle that previous round on the Eco. Here, you know, even more importantly on the rifle. As a flash comes out, a tad late, could have actually cost him his life if that flash had come out sooner and the peak came out a bit later. But yeah, G2 will take any advantage they can get, even if it is almost based on luck. Another kind of long setup here from the CT side. Searson eats a grenade. Called out on the peak a bit. A boost in over top of the smoke, going to be a triple boost to try to see back plat, but nobody is over there, Big Box or K-Sharp.
We do have Amanek tucked in Humvee. Big look to walk away, if only for a moment. Once that smoke fades. Oh, nice Molotov. Amanek, he's going to get called out on his position, but he lines them up, and he takes down 2 players. They called him out. He heard their name, and he goes away with 2 frags to his name. That's ridiculous, man. 96 damage versus him, and he still stops the tunnels hit.
Yeah, he's got some like evasion buff because again, they're 2 guys lined up waiting for him to peek that. They're stacked on top of each other. He somehow is able to live for 3-4 seconds, get to Nexa. Lone man on A, gets killed on cap by Tabson. A pure aim duel. It's suddenly a retake situation. Now Amanek's health comes into question. And Searson, oh my god, gets out-dueled by the M4 headshot instantly. 3-on-2 situation as they try to reclaim A. Big have pressed up to put the bomb down. But yeah, still, Amanek, 4 HP.
Kenny S, well, he leaves CT spawn, doubles back to Xbox instead, and he will be the only player coming in off Cat, called out by Tabson. He tries to throw the flash over, they molly and peek. Tizian, he's going to decide to just try and crawl back to the bomb site, maybe get up in their faces. Amanek looking to be traded, and remember, he has only that 4 HP. He survived the Molotov, and he has still managed an additional kill. This time, he's just going to stick it, and Tabson, oh, it's just in time.
Yeah, 4 frags just in time. Amanek somehow starting out this round, I mean, by kind of like just the holy grace, is unable to get killed, has some kind of blessing on him, and then ends up almost winning it in the clutch. The 2v3 comes through, they pull it off, and there are a couple of not unwarranted pushes from G2, but they take a risk in going long while Big are putting pressure on B. They actually have someone waiting for the push outside long. So they set the trap. I mean, it's honestly really smart from Big to do that. It really did look like a B hit from the perspective of the CTs. And then Nexa, because he's alone on A, for him to go and collect Cat is also not that weird. It's not overly aggressive for him to try to get that information. So Big just doing kind of a lot of things really well right now. And that was all despite, again, losing those 2 kills to that opening where they called out Amanek's position completely.
Another good call out at the start of rounds too. You know, it's not as fast as say catching the player on Cat to kick off the gun rounds, but another moment where in a 5 versus 5, Big put themselves in the prime position to open up with kills. Catwalk completely theirs for the taking, as it has been for the majority of these rounds.
Absolutely fearful to do anything interesting for G2. Hunter, is he looking all the way down the tunnels, or, well, it's about Kenny S now, actually. Oh, shot missed, and there's a player to push up. Oh my god, he gets behind the boxes, but, oh, okay, Keto finishes his meal off. That's Kenny S off the board, but Goose, that's something. Nexa, at least 1 kill.
And Jax is coming back as well. They're trying to combine. Nexa good for the 2. Jax into the cover, but Tizian catching him from Catwalk, and Xantares traded right here on mid, leaving Amanek to clutch yet again. But this time he's got more than just 4 HP. It's a full bar of health, the flash first and foremost. Still sitting on the smoke, but Tizian does so much damage before he even has a chance. Amanek, he's gonna retreat. This is Big taking the 9th round on their T side. What a lopsided affair here on Dust.
And they look like Shrimp Clan on Nuke, and now they look like Deezed Clan on Dust 2. They have so many good ideas, and they're all working. Every single aggressive option or response that G2 want to make, Big are able to catch the lurkers. They're not 5-manning anything. They hold down other choke points. They're multifaceted on these pincer moves. They keep their options wide open, and I think in the 5v5 is the only time that G2 can win if they get the correct sight hold, like it's a standard attack on A, and nobody tries to flank. Then they've done well, but that's a great spot to have the CTs in that they have to rely heavily on just their sight hold. G2, yeah, they're probably scratching their heads, really scared right now, to be honest, that every single thing they try, Big Clan are one step ahead of them.
Big flash over on the pit, but Tizian gets in with 0 resistance. There's nobody here for G2. They've decided to go 3 players up cat with the double tunnels pinch. And the tunnels now splits, 1 through T-spawn, 1 through mid.
They know, Big Clan know it's an Antico. We saw this exact same Antico just a few rounds ago. Here they're thinking about watching flanks, entertaining the thought of flanks, but also pushing up. And again, don't want to waste too much time. Unlike that last Antico, Big G2, excuse me, do have 1 person on this flank, on this lurk in Hunter. This timing could mean a lot.
Tizian, he's just crawled up like some kind of snail along the smoke. Good for 2 frags, good for 3. Tizian, big multi-kill here versus just the pistol players. But I mean, Big, they knew they had been boxed in. G2 Esports had all the information, but I don't think they realized that Tizian that whole time had all of the space in front of his teammates. He was crouching, crawling, just sucking next to those smokes and hoping no one saw him. Pops up at the perfect moment, and they just pull that one apart. So any little chance that G2 had just based on the numbers, instantly cut down, and Big continue this success story.
Well, yeah, the protocols and the Anticos are really good. When they get up to the ramp, they know exactly how to execute together. They've had no trouble trading out players on site, no matter how many there are. Almost always the first guy is completely blind, and the other guy's kind of jumping away. And it's been tabs in the past to get those entries. This time it was Tizian. But yeah, really cool to see how clean these ecos have been. Even though G2 now, they had all of the options on the A site, plus a big flank on top of it. And they still don't even get a kill. They only get Hunter to get a kill on the flank. And that's even with Xanteris totally waiting for him. It's more about the callouts than anything else. Heavy tunnels presence here from Big, and G2 are responding with cat aggression. Nobody is assigned to play long. Kenny S, 4 and 8, has been relatively neutral for this game. Now gets collateral and will finish off Xanteris, looking for Searson, but Searson ultimately wins his fight. Hunter, oh my god, how lucky is he?
Well, not as lucky as Nexa. He finds Searson just looking the wrong direction, and Nexa good for a second, but Tizian's still able to trade this one. He's got a minute to flex the clutch. But Amanek, well, he's already coming in from behind. He's inside the top of the tunnels, and Tizian very preoccupied with all of this utility usage from Jax, but Jax goes back through CT spawn all the way over to A, and Tizian gives chase. I can't help but feel like they are giving Tizian a little bit of room. I suppose this could boil it down to just the timing, and he may not expect this.
Yeah, no, they got everything covered. And yeah, G2 win that off the fiery presence of Kenny S holding down mid. Collateral through the door. Xanteris trying to help out as basically a player who is on like broken limbs, just crawling out mid after being tagged so hard through his teammate to try to get the kill. Creates space for Searson. Searson gets a trade, but it's of course still a negative exchange, losing 2 for 1. Wow. Okay. Well, there's still potential for a 5-10 half. G2 had a good round there. They had the other round they won was good too. It wasn't like they've just only won eco rounds or something crazy like that. We see sometimes in these stomp games where it's really about, the psychology or anything like that. It's definitely Big's game plan has been pristine, and G2 have found a way to get a couple of standard nice GT rounds in.
But will it be enough? I mean, we saw a very lopsided first half on Nuke end up closing the game early. And it very well could be a mirrored image here on Dust 2, except the only difference is it's Big in the huge lead. They go ahead peeking around the cat corners, and Kenny S able to trade it, but Keto, he wins out on the numbers game. And then Jax, well, maybe he brings it back. It looks likely. Him and Amanek each able to win individual duels on the perimeters of the map. Meanwhile, Keto moves forward off of that first opening and gets the bomb down. So he's trying to isolate this 1 versus 1 down long. He knows Jax is back there somewhere, but does he want to forfeit the bomb site itself? You see, that would suddenly enable the cat retake. So he can't actually leave. He is very much anchored to the bomb site. This is a very curious smoke. It kind of blocks off his legs, but they still seem to see right through him, and that one looked easy. It's a retake for G2.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that smoke landed exactly right or if they had just crouched under it to see it, but they could know one of 2 spots that he'd be in based on where that smoke was, apart from Goose. But yeah, they call it out. I'd like to know from their perspective if they could see him completely. It looked like they could definitely crouch under it and watch. But yo, shout out to Jax first and foremost. And yeah, they do see his legs. So I think the smoke is supposed to go down a bit farther. It's a situation where there's not a lot of time to think, so he drops it and tries to play off that and hopes to get the cat killed first, but that doesn't come his way. But yeah, man, Jax has been one of the only constants for G2. He's been a fantastic long anchor. He's delivered on a few of these rifle rounds, the opening kills. Sometimes they've still lost the round, but he's pretty much always getting his kill, which is great. And there, G2 win both on cat and long on their first duels. And then Kenny S trades on cat after the duel gets traded out for Big, and we get to a 4v3 situation, which is just fine for G2. Fine to hold on to A, especially with long control.
Seems like G2 could have a bit more gas in the tank here. As the first 15 is coming to a close, we finally see Big with some economic woes. 2 of the pistol players here with Tizian and Tabson, they do have utility, but they're trying to set up Xantares, Keto, or Searson. Those are the 3 rifle wielders for the side of Big Clan. It's going to be, again, this A site their target. Because the utility that they're using off of Cat, they elicit a response back. That's one of the 2 last Molotovs here for G2. Kenny S gonna miss a couple of quick flick shots. That pistol's trying to push him. Jack, oh, he may have gone down, but Kenny S can trade that one. Searson Scout now 1 versus 3. There's a player on site tagged up pretty damn heavily, and he's got him. Now it boils down to Hunter and Amanek, both players on rotation, and they're just gonna pressure that Scout so he cannot work his magic. The op's gonna be saved. It's G2 with a 4th, and the 5th is the best case scenario.
5th is on the horizon. They can definitely see it now. And this is, although Jax goes down, they take care of long. It's, of course, Kenny S to get 2 kills from his spot. So they trade favors holding down A. And in this 5th round, it's a way worse buy here for Big. So, yeah, it's not unreasonable to consider this a 5-10.5 for G2, which is, man, could have been astronomically worse. So they'll take this all day. Even these 4 rounds, I feel like, at that 7-1 start, you think, man, they'd be lucky to get 4. So it's a pressure quickly up towards Cat. And I think that now some of the early establishing rounds have been gone. We've gotten through them. G2 are moving back to a simplistic playstyle, but still applying pressure to Cat, especially with their op. And that's, I think, attracting Big's attention. They seem happy to take these fights. But now we've got a new route of access. It's the mid to B, and it's moving fast.
Very quick. Just as quick as Amanek sticks his neck outdoors, tucks back behind the boxes, but Tabson, he's gonna peel him off of this one. Searson threw the smoke on door, and Tabson has done everything they needed. 2 kills on that B bomb site. Nexa, he's crawled through the smoke already, catching the first player by surprise and then gunning down Searson. A final retake attempt here on this DT side for G2. Looking for that 5th round. They've got the numbers and the health advantage over top of Big, but that bomb's ticked halfway gone already. Xantares, he's tucked in the back of the site, fully blind. Tabson, he's gonna have to ace, and that doesn't happen. G2 take their 5th. Doubled up the score is Big, but damn, what a close to this half. Join us after the break for the second side of Dust 2.
Trying to stay alive again.
Big Clan rocking that 5-round lead here as they start the CT side of map 2. And G2, well, they've got that first map in their back pocket secured. So I can imagine both a world where Big Clan shut down a T side and also where G2 can win 10 on the offense. Which of those universes do we live in? It's time to find out.
Yeah, Pistol washes away all of the pressure for G2. So we'll see. It's an interesting setup. 4-man on mid, spotting all these different angles, very nuanced in their positions, and an interesting response as well. Nobody here at mid for G2, instead pressuring towards long. I think, holy crap, it really depends how long they wait here. But G2, I mean, they've got the lobster pincer outside the playground, but Hunter now wants to move up. It's an instant kill, but it's not the bomb spotted. So what do they know?
Yeah, that could be false confidence. They may have thought that they just peeled off only the flank, but in the end, Kenny S is going to double back all the way through spawn. And Big, they've just shifted their 4-man stack from their side of the double doors to on top of Catwalk. They realize B is susceptible and that somebody could walk in. What a wild pistol round. I mean, we are 40 seconds left. There hasn't been much action other than that one tap. And yet we're going to get a bloodbath here. Once that 30 seconds comes in, the bomb's going to be thrown over on the back of Kenny, who gets over safely. So he's going to go ahead and take his bomb plant. He's spotted, so they know that there's already close CT presence. Tizian in the open does not want to be the guy who goes down. Kenny S out of the round. Just one tap by Tizian. He's going to try to get himself another, which he will. It's Nexa's head taken down next. Amanek and Jax left over in the 2 versus 5. It's the Glock from Goose with only one. Big taking second pistol.
Okay, let's go Big. Yeah, it was a scary round because of the mid-control aspect. The push into upper B, although it gives them false confidence, they also grab a kill off of it, so it opens up their options no matter what happens. Of course, a retake with just USPs and low utility is not that big a deal. This is obviously an amazing shot from Tizian as well to activate on the retake, to allow everybody to kind of push on forward and forget about that default angle that can be such a pest as Kenny S seeks to get a little bit of information. But yeah, it seemed like from that round was all about the minimap, of course. And what it seemed like was Kenny S could go and score a bomb plant on B really easily, but they have a much harder chance of winning the round. Whereas on A, it seemed a bit scarier to get a bomb plant, even though I'm sure they considered it. But, you know, that was the only way they could win. And of course, the bomb goes down. They actually have great post-plant positions, but they lose to these kind of laser pinpoint precision shots from the USPs. And yeah, it's 11-5 now for Big. So for any doubts coming out of that first half, they can quell them. This gives them a security blanket of rounds to help them forward into the CT side.
Scout shot still missing. Searson. You could just start one shot in the mall, but there's a little body shot to Jax. Tabson helps out. This MP9 could just sprinkle shots into the collection of scout bullets we saw going downtown. Grenade misses the mark. Tabson, he's still going to challenge here. He knows he has a huge advantage in this weapon. And of course, he's got teammates rotating over. He's got flashbangs to hold them back. I mean, they are stuck in no man's land. Even though he wasn't doing tons of damage, he just peppered them long enough that they got kind of stuck in the headlights there, Mohan. Nobody was moving.
Yeah, I mean, after that first flash, they actually should have just ran forward, but they didn't know if there's anybody else. It was great nade usage by Tabson to get them to play his game, and Big take 12 cleanly. Now, the rifle comes out immediately because of that bomb plant on the first round, and it's an immediate run down mid, and that's an opening frag for Searson right into his scope. Hunter didn't stand a chance trying to get some information. Wow, he'll make it too. These T2 players are getting melted, and of course, Tabson now is within killing distance of this MP9. He spots one player going long. They may have heard him, but he can push for position and spawn, but an answer back into the upper tunnels.
Yeah, I think that kill has really good timing on it. You see it immediately drawing the attention of Big from mid to B. And also, think Tabson, he had to contemplate, is it more important to go check long A or double back to where you just lost a player, right? You want the information where you just lost out. And it seems like they're going to go clear tunnels instead. Now, the thing is, Tabson, if he takes back the tunnels, then that would have been even better than flanking the bomb, because the only place left over is going to be those long doors. Now, Tabson MP9 versus AK, he uses the movement to his advantage, just dancing around the pillar. And that doesn't bode well for G2 because now it's going to be obvious what they're up to. And they don't have any sort of flank left over for this. It's just straight up 2v4 trying to gun through this bomb site. They charge through the smokes, they get past the flashes, but Tizian here on Goose, wielding the SMG, sees Kenny trying to slip through the smoke. As Nexa is now burned off from any kind of a trade frag, he's got 30 seconds, and he could just go for the retreat. They're peeking him, giving him chances, but he doesn't get a single kill, and Big Clan take 13.
They make it look so easy, and we never saw Kenny S have the same impact as Searson did on that round, where he's picking off riflers, he's making it look so simple. I mean, they're running right into his scope, and also love the way that Tabson plays this round. Yeah, he could have flanked long, but he knew probably that there were more players at long than outside B, because the one player that got spotted didn't have the bomb, and they saw them creep out, and they didn't know they were spotted. So he gets info on there, and then he confirms the rest of the information on upper B on top of that. And also, of course, gets the kill. But even if he doesn't get the kill, just knowing that the bomb is outside long is enough for his teammates to win. So I think he makes, the very best decision in that moment and puts that MP9 to work.
Agreed. We had Searson at the beginning of this round trying to challenge up mid, but because he was taking those shots, G2 decided to go many players down tunnels and try to get up in his face. Now, he gave up the angle on doors, but we just saw him jumping onto the boxes. Oh, no, excuse me. He switched spots with Tabson. They both have capital N's at the end.
See the hot swap.
No. Nexa, he's going to get caught by Tizian inside the long A doors, and here is Searson. Oh, what? What?
Jack in a Box pops up and takes Xantares out in the spawn with the flying deagle. I don't know if he hit the floor yet. Did he? Please tell me he hit the floor first.
In super duper slow motion.
Yeah, from third person. Oh my god, and the win?
It looks like it, yeah, because that bomb's already so far gone. Sorry, there's still a round live here. I'm dumbfounded by Jax's deagle kill, and if I'm Big Clan, I think they are too. They're gonna win the round off of that. Big retake just a bit too late. What is that from Jax?
I'm so mad for Xantares. Oh no, it was. Dude. I don't know, man. Even if he did it.
Oh,
even if he did hit the, even if he did, the inaccurate, it's basically the same inaccuracy for that. They reduced it, but for the moment that you touch the ground, it's still a huge box. Like it's basically the same as a jumping shot, and it's this ridiculous flick downwards. That's so sick. I mean,
just lands on the wicker basket.
Stupid, but it's also sick. Like he's aiming in the right spot.
Oh man, can we get that one more time? One more time.
Loss equals improved. Tabson had twice as many kills in the first 7 rounds of Dust 2 as he had in the whole of Nuke. Yeah, he didn't. And there was a stat that Elliot also brought up about Tabson on Nuke and how he was a centerpiece of their wins. I think the recent record is now the 8-2.
Oh yes.
And it's like a round-winning Deeg too. It just shuts down the whole retake.
What in God's name is that from Jax? An unthinkable deagle. All right. Well, Big, they're going to have to reset from that one. Seems like Searson's going to go back to the mid doors. This time he is stuck on the B side. Not going to see any feet because 2 of the T's just jump up Xbox, and now they've got 3 men on Cat.
Well, until further notice, they probably feel fine. We've got the smoke on the opposite side of the door. That's a bit of a scary one for the CTs. It locks up the rotates a little bit. You've got the attention of Keto. He's spotting down mid, just making sure his teammates aren't going to get hung out to dry. But he's already come back to Cat looking to lob a grenade probably. Yeah. And, it's going to be well placed at the feet of Kenny S. He has no toenails left.
Ew.
Yeah,
rubbery toes.
Ew, W. Okay.
Are you ready for this? It's a 5-man Cat hit. I mean, you may expect 2, you may expect 3. You're extra cautious 4, but 5 bodies from G2 trying to trudge along the catwalk. Tabson. Ooh, nice first headshot there versus Nexa. His magazine's down to just the 10 shots, and he even controls it so that he can manage another frag. 2 versus 4 is where they're left. Keto, wide swing, and just clotheslines Kenny S. Amanek, can he best what's left? 3 CTs. He is so damn blind. Big Clan taking that 14th round 2 away from the win.
It's been a bit disappointing here from G2. They're eating every single counter grenade, not making any progress, not looking scary at all. CT side, T side, whatever. They got the space they wanted to. They come off an eco round that's so hot. And that's the one round they've won so far in this half. Even with a pistol, it looks like Big would have won. And they definitely are on for a situation where, yeah, this game could end in the next 2 rounds. There's not a great buy here for G2. If they lose, they'll be on another force-up that looks quite similar. The max loss bonus. And, yeah, Searson, he hasn't had to do a whole lot. But, you know, in the 1 rifle round they needed him, he comes through with 2 easy kills on riflers running down mid. And if this game goes on any longer, I suspect he'll continue to have impact. And it looks like, yeah, he's up to bat once again. Opening kill. Another freebie. Untraded kills.
Looking very good here for Big. Flashbang goes off right as the fire fades. And Tizian gets slapped back from the direction of which he came. Searson retreats onto the ramp. They have nobody confirming that long A is clear, so that is a bit of a compromised position here for the CT side, but they are going to send one over. Tabson, he'll go check those double doors. In reality, it's completely clear. It's just G2 here on mid.
Spray through the door. Xantares wins, and that's the player who's going to come in to just hold the flank, I guess. Yeah, they're pushed into the cat execute. I'm not sure they want a part of.
The flashbang gets Searson off first. He's going to go in for the repeat, sees the heads crossing, but they've gotten far enough to at least get this bomb plant. Do they just creep back into cat for the post? That's the big question. They don't have any utility, so it's not like a Molotov could be, you know, served up as an insurance policy. They're legitimately going to need these frags. They have to stave off the retake. And Nexa, well, he's not been able to move, and Searson knows this. So 1 player pinned in. Oh, nice shot from Kenny S to get this one started. It's Big with all 3 on the retake. 2 frags for Tabson, a double for Searson, and Big sit pretty on 15.
23-9. So good at entering onto the A site itself, retaking those same angles, looks just as good. Tabson, extraordinary impact so far this game. This is a shame of a duel to lose, of course. You know, gambit that you want to accept, and after you get the dink as well through the door, you think, all right, well, I could totally win this, and you still end up losing. Big, they're pulling these rounds out of thin air at this point, so, and it's another really rough buy here. Actually, somehow a little bit better apart from the op on this round. Hunter moves quickly down mid, lucky to not get off by Searson. But that's, of course, because Searson is opping on the A site.
Flashback off of it. Searson just crawls into the cover, gets 1 kill, still stands, and with 10 HP, it's going to take the nade from Kenny S to best him. The other CTs, they're just going to sprint into this. Tizian turns his head back, a 90-degree snap for the face of Nexa, but Amanek, he could be the difference maker. He's gotten himself a double, another grenade, just taking these players out of their positions. It's never even the post plant. Big Clan bounce back on Dust 2, and after Nexa posts a 1.86 rating on the first one, I can't wait to see what Tabson's official stats are. What an awesome second map from him.
What more is there to say? I think the desk will have fun with this one. It's a pretty clean-cut affair. And as a final note, I guess, extraordinary utility damage there from Big on both sides. It was very impactful. They had really great grenades.
Ridiculousness. Join us after the break. The analysts will take you through Dust 2 and prime you for our decider. This series has gone the distance. Can't wait to see the third.